ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יררי רררררררי, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יררי רררררררי, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We invite you to join us a little closer. What a wonderful way to celebrate this summer Shabbat. Or it feels like summer at least. And wonderful to have some bread at our oneg as well. I hope all of you had a wonderful Passover holiday. And we continue our Shabbat celebrations by having 4 amazing B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow, which we are really lucky to have. So I'm going to invite up Max and Tyler and their mom and dad, and Beckett and Fiona and their mom and dad to join us up here as we light our Shabbat candles extra bright this coming Shabbat.
How are you? Hello, hello. Good to see you. Hi. How's it going? Here, go this way, that way. Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Oh my God. Shabbat Shalom. What's happening? Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I can't believe it's happening. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We say Shabbat Shalom, and we welcome you into our sanctuary. Wish someone a Shabbat Shalom as we walk in to our main sanctuary.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Bim Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Bim Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Bim 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 Bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Bim Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Bim Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Bim 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 Bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Mayafe, Mayafe, Hayom. Shabbat, Shalom. Mayafe, Hayom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
As
shalom.
we welcome Shabbat, I invite you to take a deep breath in, let it out. Another one, and let it out. There we go, that's nice. We come to our sanctuary for many different reasons. To be in holy community, to remember a loved one this evening, to celebrate wonderful B'nai Mitzvah, just to mark Shabbat. And we are very lucky to have our men's club help us lead Shabbat this evening. And I'm going to turn it over to our men's club president, Larry Goldberg.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Shimon. Shabbat Shalom. I'm Larry Goldberg, president of the Temple Emanu-El Men's Club. Welcome to our 2023 Men's Club Shabbat. We do this every year. And also want to thank you for skipping the Springsteen concert tonight at the Prudential Center.
What?
Yes.
I guarantee this will be a better religious experience than that. The mission of the Men's Club can be summed up in 3 words: comradeship, congregation, and community. We focus on comradeship by providing religious, social events throughout the year where men of the Temple Emanu-El can get together and strengthen our personal, our Jewish, and our community bonds. Some of our activities include monthly breakfasts that we get together at various people's houses. We have an annual men's retreat in the fall, and many other events, and many events that also include spouses and families. Last week we just did for a Passover service, we did a matzah brei breakfast for everyone, and I'm sorry to my wife, she missed it, but it was her favorite lox and onion. She loves that. We focus on the congregation by providing time, our own personal time, financial resources as well to the support of temple events. We build the sukkah every fall. We started, since COVID is over, we've started building our large sukkah again. We focus on community, both local and worldwide, providing donations, manpower to worthy charities and organizations such as Community Food Bank of Hillside and the Hebrew Immigration Aid Society. And I just want to say thank you to all the Temple Men's Club members, as well as the clergy and the staff here that work tirelessly to ensure the strength and love of our community is present in all things Temple Emanu-El. And tonight, we also commemorate Yom HaShoah tonight. Temple is focusing on remembrance, as we do every year at this time. And as you will see later tonight, you will be given a yellow candle, a memorial candle, later in the service. And we'll light them to remember. But who do we remember? First and foremost, remember the 6 million Jews and millions of innocent other people murdered by Nazis during the Holocaust. We remember the great ones among us, like Eli Wiesel, who survived the horrors of Auschwitz to become a beacon of hope and a conscience to the world. Martin Luther King, who dared us to judge each other not by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. And we remember our blessed loved ones, such as my son Joshua Goldberg, a creative and sensitive soul, beloved son, brother, grandson, and friend who made everyone around him happier and better. He left us way too soon. Tonight is his yahrzeit. So I just wanted to leave everyone with a thought. I was looking for something that summarized remembrance, and I like history a lot, and I thought that for a few thousand years ago this still applies today, and it's by Cicero, Roman orator, statesman, and philosopher. To be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to remain always a child. For what is the worth of a human life unless it is woven into the life of our ancestors by the records of history? Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov to the B'nai Mitzvahs, and enjoy the service tonight. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah.
Page 24 in our prayer book.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moachem Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We continue on page 20 with the words of Lecha Dodi. We'll sing verses 1 to 5 and 9. On the final verse, I invite you to rise and face our sanctuary doors.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekah, lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekah, b'la shamo v'zachor, b'dibur echad, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'netilah. Ay, 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 yalananay, lecha Dodi, yalananay, likrat kala, yalananay, b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekah, b'la likrat Shabbat, לכו במלאכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם משוכה, סוף מעשה מחשבה תחילה. איי איי איי, יא נה 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 נה, לך דודי, נה 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 נה, לקראת כלה, יא נה 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 נה, בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורר קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר דברי, מכבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. שבת נקבלה, לך דודי, יא נה 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 נה, לקראת כלה, בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה.
We have just welcomed our Sabbath bride. I invite you to welcome someone you don't know. Turn around to someone, introduce yourself, wish them a Shabbat Shalom.
See, they have the readings here. No, I got it.
Oh, I have a reading here.
Oh,
Is it too small? Or?
that's better. Yeah, good. Thank you. See, this is too small. Yeah.
So where's the gate?
Oh, right up Route 22.
Please be seated.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's like in class. Okay. When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when, to the last full measure of selfless devotion, we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness. Then your goodness enters our lives and we can begin to change the world, and then you live within our hearts and we, through righteousness, behold your presence.
Rabbi Chaim of Tzantz used to tell this parable. A man wandering lost in the forest for several days finally encountered another. He called out, "Brother, show me the way out of this forest." The other man replied, "Brother, I too am lost. I can only tell you this. The ways I have tried led nowhere. They have only led me astray. Take my hand and let us search for the way together." Rabbi Chaim would add, "So it is with us. When we go our separate ways, we may go astray. Let us join hands and look for the way together."
The Chetzi Kaddish can be found on page 26. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועל מה דברה חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון יום, מכון שלום ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יש מרבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתבהר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
Please rise.
Yada nai nai nai, 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 yada nai nai nai. ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד ידה נאי 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 ידה נאי נאי נאי. Page 30.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhma poteach sha'arim, u'bitvuna mashaneh itim, u'machliliv et hazmanim, u'msader et hakochavim, b'moshotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei hoshech, v'choshech mipnei or, u'ma'avir yom uvein layla, Umavdil bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, Tami yimloch, Aleinu li'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravi. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravi.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
The Vahata translation is as follows. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you today shall be upon your heart. You shall teach them thoroughly to your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house and when you walk on the road, when you lie down and when you rise up each day. You shall bind them as a sign upon your hand, and they shall be a reminder between your eyes. And you shall write them upon the doorposts of your house and upon your gates.
Continue on page 158, the words we sang this past Wednesday as we celebrated walking through the sea of reeds.
בקודש, נורא תהילותו, עושה פלא, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי ענו ואמרו, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני לא לעולם ועד, אדוני לא לעולם ועד. יאי די 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 ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Bottom of 42, we read together in English. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, O God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over your people Israel, over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Now turn to page 132, the middle of page 132, V'shamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל ואת השבת לעשות את השבת ודודם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת ודודם ברית עולם.
The path to the love of God is through the love of others. I do not love God until I love my neighbor as myself. Jewish faith unites mind and heart. Even as my mind seeks to understand life's meaning, so may my life show love for all created things. We do not teach our children words alone. May I make my life and actions into good teachings, for in my conduct I must exemplify Torah. Let my home glow with the beauty of our heritage. Let my doors be opened wide to wisdom and to righteousness.
We continue with our Amidah on page 46. We rise.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 שפתי תפתח. ידה די 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 ופי יגיד, ופי יגיד תהילתך. ידה די 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 אדוני. יבה די 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 שפתי תפתח. ידה די 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 ופי יגיד, ופי יגיד תהילתך. די 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 אדוני. די 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 שפתי תפתח. די 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 ופי יגיד, ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד אתה, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, בנאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
There is divine beauty in learning, just as there is human beauty in tolerance. To learn means to accept the postulate that life did not begin at my birth. Others have been here before me, and I walk in their footsteps. The books I have read were composed by generations of fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, teachers and disciples. I am the sum total of their experiences and their quests, and so are you. From Elie Wiesel.
We continue silently to page 62, using the prayers of our Siddur or the prayers of your heart. When you're done praying, I invite you to be seated.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל באמנו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל באמנו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל באמנו אמן.
True, we often are too weak to stop injustices, but the least we can do is protest against them. True, we are too poor to eliminate hunger, but in feeding one child, we protest against hunger. True, we are often too timid and powerless to take on all the guards of all political prisons in the world. But in offering our solidarity to one prisoner, we denounce all the tormentors. True, we are powerless against death, but as long as we help one man, one woman, one child live 1 hour longer in safety and dignity, we affirm a human's right to live.
This time in our service, our thoughts turn to loved ones, close friends, and family that need a little bit of extra healing of mind, body, or spirits. Our synagogue community thinks of Gabby Kraft Buckman, Eliezer Moshe Ben David, Rachel Lazar, Jeffrey Feldman, Helene Caro, Violet Linder, Vida Aziz, Summer Kurder, Avraham Ben Ruben Numira, Len Cabot, Karen Berlini, Diane Cooper-Schmidt, Lori Doss, Stephen Block, Adam Phipps-Watson, Cindy Ford, Mark Goldstein, Ruth Iris Glass, and Fred Epstein. If you are thinking of someone this evening, I invite you to say their names as my eyes meet yours.
Page 253. Mi shebera avotenu vekol habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebera imotenu vekol habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us sing Amen.
On Shabbat, we also like to taste the sweetness of this moment, the sweetness of the past week or the upcoming week. I'm going to invite Jen White, our Board of Trustees representative, to help us on the Bima. And so if you celebrated a birthday or an anniversary, if something good happened to you, big or small, maybe you came back from a really awesome trip to Egypt, from Egypt, maybe you had a wonderful Seder and you cleaned up all your dishes already, you got a good score on your test, you did something, the Knicks are in the playoffs, something good. We want you to join us on the Bima as well. Any sweetness? And there are 4 sweet things happening tomorrow. So Max and Tyler and Fiona and Beckett, please join us on the Bima with your mom and dad as well, as you are going to lead us in Kiddush on page 5 of our Siddur. Nothing good happened this week. We have no birthday. Yeah, come on up.
We have something.
What? Over there, birthday over here. Come on up. I'm going to invite all of you to rise as well. Jen, there's some juice over here.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to say it together. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, boreh peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila le'mikrai kodesh zecher l'yetziat mitzrayim kivanu v'achata ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. I think we have two people that did really well on a test. We have a trip back from Egypt, a birthday, and we have a wonderful B'nai Mitzvah for tomorrow. And so Fiona and Beckett and Tyler and Max, tomorrow you will be reading from the Torah. You will be leading our congregation with family and friends. And I know that the four of you will do an amazing job. And currently, we are in a moment that is really a holy time. It's called the counting of the Omer. It's a time between Passover and Shavuot. And it's an opportunity for us to count each day. We count up until the end of the holiday of Shavuot. And we are supposed to give grain offerings during this time. You can give a grain offering. Every time you come to synagogue, you can bring a cereal or some oatmeal. That's a plug for all of you out there. But tomorrow, you will be bringing your whole selves. You will be bringing your wise wisdom with your Divrei Torah. You will be bringing your heart and soul when you chant Torah and Haftarah. And as we count during the Omer, I get to count on each of you now to be a part of a minyan, to represent our Jewish tradition, and that's what it means to become a B'nai Mitzvah. And so my blessing for you today and each day of your life is that we get to continue to count you. Count your wisdom, count the person you are, wherever you are, because I know the four of you will become are and will continue to become strong B'nai Mitzvah. So I wish you and your family a Mazel Tov L'chaim. Take another sip. And you can be seated. Please be seated.
So I don't know how I pulled the short string this week, but I'm taking the load off the rabbi. Got the sermon, and I look back at some of the other video from the last few years, and I don't see any other temple president doing this, so I'm not sure how I got this. But so I just wanted, the rabbi and I did talk, and I wanted to, talk a little bit about what this week's parsha is. It's called Shemini, as the rabbi was alluding to, the 8th day from Leviticus. And, the book of Leviticus has, in my interpretation, 4 or 5 different major themes about living. That holiness is required, purity is required for living. Man inherently is unholy, and we're impure, and that we need prescriptions or laws to get through life, and I think that's how our people survived for thousands of years. And there's a lot to unpack this week, and don't worry, kids, this is Arial bold 18 double space, so it's not that long. So a couple things that happened in this week's parsha. Aaron and his sons were, working with Moses and with God. There were a lot of sacrifices to be made, but per God's instructions and Moses' instructions, that sacrifices to God had to be made in order to have their sins forgiven. Unfortunately, 2 of Aaron's sons who were very pious, righteous people, were killed for creating an unsanctioned fire in the Holy Temple. Also, we learned that God had given instructions, what's acceptable in terms of sacrifices and offerings. Priests are refrained from drinking alcohol prior to entering the Holy Tabernacle. But I think the one that I was drawn to was, more importantly, laws were given at this time to distinguish between pure and impure animals, birds, fish, and insects, what we know as kashrut, which is what I'd like to discuss. And I thought it was interesting. I happened to look up some of the animals and birds and fish that were kosher and non-kosher, and that in case you have to survive on Survivor, and you can eat kosher crickets. So I had a neighbor growing up. He used to joke with us all the time. He says, "Come over, I'm going to give you your chocolate-covered crickets this weekend." But that's what, in Reform Judaism, we like to study, we debate, we try to connect the laws and the teachings to the Torah to our busy modern-day lives. And I will talk about the impact of kosher laws in both the historical and the modern impact. We look at the Torah and we say, well, what's the big picture here with regards to laws about kashrut and purity? And in Leviticus, we might say, well, God really cares about what we ingest into our body. If we're made in God's image, we should care about that. We should not desecrate our body. And in Leviticus, this is where we learn that any animal with cleft hooves and chews or cuds is kosher. And that's something that God cared about. And I think it stood us, again, to survive all these years, knowing how to eat, what to eat, allowing our bodies to work. And there's also a running theme here about we should be concerned with the origin, the treatment of our food, from production to consumption. Reform or modern kosher might look like being mindful of your food is sensitive to where your food is coming from. How was your food treated in life before it got to you? Was it raised properly? Was there over-farming, or was it free range? What chemicals are in your food? How are the people that got this food to your plate treated in production? So when people traditionally go, who are kosher, go grocery shopping, you probably see it. They're constantly, we turn over the packages, we look to see if this item's kosher. In modern times, we might want to look closer at, are we buying something that's fair trade, something that's ethically sourced? Is your meat free range and raised organically? Another practice that could be interpreted or translated to modern times in terms of kashrut is buying local. Again, it goes to that big theme about how are we treating the world and the food that we are preparing. God wants you to care about that. Everything that should be consumed should be done with consideration and thought. And we see this continuously throughout Leviticus, that food is sacred, that the food and animals that we sacrifice are sacred, and that our body is a gift that we should treasure. I used to find it amusing. I do have friends and colleagues at work that are I'd say very religious, and I'd go over to their house and they say, "Oh, would you like a cup of coffee?" I'm like, "Sure, great." And they give me a cup of coffee and some creamer, dairy creamer, and I drink the coffee, and my wife would be very proud of me because I thought I'd being helpful. I'd pick up the cup and go to put it in the sink, and then I'd get yelled at because there was multiple sinks to separate dairy and meat. But I found it very amusing that when we would go out, they would have no problem ordering lobster or shrimp or ribs. And I asked them about that, and they said, well, we are strictly kosher in this house. Our house is holy. And that, again, I'm not judging, we're not judging, but that is a translation or a debate that many people within our movement have, and that you should have that with yourself. Their basic answer was, well, we like to eat. So plus it's New Jersey. And, who doesn't like a pork roll, egg, and cheese? So, or if you're from South Jersey or Philly, a cheesesteak. Come on, I mean, I think there was a reason that it's not good because it tastes good. So, Shemini offers us this opportunity for discernment, that we all can make informed choices, and that the choices are the bedrock of who Reformed Judaism is. It's sacred to study Torah while respecting history, but debating it in the modern context. And I ask you to find the relevancy, especially the B'nai Mitzvahs. Find the relevancy in the ancient words and connect them to our modern lives. I mean, this is the struggle of, our holy struggle of being Jewish. And I have to say before I end with this, that this Parsha was stamped OU certified by Rabbi Prosnit. And if any of you B'nai Mitzvahs are procrastinators, I'll be glad to share this with you for tomorrow. So thank you very much. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Next week, you're on too, right? So we continue our service on page 259.
Thank you. Please rise so we can recite this prayer together as a community. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
We remain standing and we turn to page 278. Each evening we count a day of the Omer, and so we sing a song. Today is the 9th day of the Omer.
Nine, 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 nine,
שבוע ושני ימים לעומר. Today is the 9th day, which is 1 week and 2 days of the Omer.
Continue with Elenu, page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated.
May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, our soul profound enough to cover the earth. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and grave despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
Amen.
In memory of the 6 million Jews murdered during the Holocaust and the millions of others around the world murdered because of hate, Larry Seltzer and Jeff Strauss from Men's Club will be lighting our yellow memorial candles for all of them and for all of us.
אלי, אלי, שלא ייגמר לעולם, החול והים, רשרוש של המים, ברק השמיים, תפילת האדם. החול והים, רשרוש של המים, ברק השמיים, תפילת האדם. Eli, Eli, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart. Eli, Eli, שלא ייגמר לעולם, החול והים, רשרוש של המים, ברק השמיים, תפילת האדם, החול והים, רשרוש של המים, ברק השמיים, תפילת האדם.
Turn to the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Remember those we lost in the last 30 days, as well as the anniversary of our loved ones' deaths. If you hear your loved one's name this evening, I invite you to rise. During this period of Shloshim, we remember Francine Schoenbach, mother of Michael, Ira Skolnick, husband of Brenda, Donald Leibowitz, father of Amy Lebois, Myron Laufer, father of Sherry Dewey, Lee Lazar, mother of Hildy, Gloria Fleischner, mother of Terry Klass, Harold S. Roth, father of Marcy Kozinski, Lila Greenberg, grandmother of Pamela Clark, Gary Gleitman, father of Alex, and Robert Natko, father of Steve. On the anniversary of our loved ones' deaths, we remember Sylvia Abrams, Andrew Becker, Helene Berg, Esther Bergman, Harold Berman, Lee Berman, Lillian Block, Esther Chiger, Ned Cohn, B. Dickstein, Naomi Diener, Saul Diener, Aaron Fairman, Sadie Fisher, Allison Gnezer, Charlotte Gassman, Matt Gast, Florence Gossell, Robert Godfrey, Joshua Goldberg, Arthur Greenstein, Paul Harris, Ethel Hellman, Sam Hinterstein, Milton Hoffman, Jacob Holtz, Isidore Horner, Alan Kaplan, Bruce Caraban, Milton Kaufman, Louis Kessler, Eileen Klass, Pearl Kaufman, Lillian Costa, Bernard Lothbaum, Salvatore Leconti, Seymour Lamp, Faye Lasky, Yetta Leibowitz, Abram Layton, Iris Levine, Cindy Lippy, Rita Molshuk, Anita Monick, Harvey Newman, Philip Ock, Myra Turkel Peterson, Phyllis Princenthal, James Rock, Sheldon Rothfleisch, Jules Rosinensky, Selma Rubin, Alice Saltz, Florence Sadler, Joy Scher, Lee Schlosser, Claire Schneider, Richard Schnell, Jerry Schumann, Yetta Bregman Spinner, Louis Staub, Marie Teichler, Wilfred Weil, Saul Wellen, Melvin A. Wiener, Abraham Williams, and Edward Yanowitz. If you are in the first year of mourning, I invite you to rise as well. In sacred solidarity, we turn to the words of Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Please rise.
Please join me. Yiskadal, Yiskadash, Shmei Rabbah, Yama Divrach Hute, Mama Hute, Amen Hom, Hom, V'chol Beit Yisrael, B'chalav Yizman Kariv Yimru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Le'olam Omei Omaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpar V'yaman V'yinaseh, V'yisadar V'yisaleh V'yisalal Shmei Kusha B'richu, Elam Yirol V'yiratav Shiratav, Yishbechatav V'nechamatav, Tamiran V'yama V'yimru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya, V'yahim Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael, V'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mramah, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael, V'yimru Amen.
May the one who brings peace bring peace to all who mourn and comfort the bereaved, as together we say, Amen. Amen. Please be seated. In the Jewish calendar, we are in a period of many holidays and commemoration moments. This coming Tuesday, as we lit candles tonight, we will mark Yom HaShoah. From 9 o'clock to 8 o'clock on Tuesday, we will be reading names on the front lawn of our of Holocaust victims on the front lawn of our synagogue. We have 15-minute blocks. We think we'll read about 6,500 names during those 10 hours. We are looking for some more volunteers that will dedicate that time to remember. You can sign up in advance for a 15-minute block. There'll be a tent here. It's something you could do with your family as well to remember those who were murdered during the Holocaust. And then at 7 o'clock, we will be joined in the chapel where members of our own community can share memories of those who were murdered in the Holocaust. Our Soferet, our scribe, will also be here writing our new Torah, and how powerful it is that we continue the story, having our scribe write Torah on this day of commemoration during the service, during the afternoon. And so we encourage you to stop by, meet our Soferet, be a part of the new Torah, the history of our Jews continue, and we mark that on Yom HaShoah. Then on Friday is our celebration, beginning our celebration of Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel's Independence Day, the 75th year of Israel. We will be joined by our choirs, our junior youth choir, our Hallelu band, with songs about Israel by all composers from Israel. It's a wonderful way to celebrate Israel. Shimon, I get off 2 weeks in Israel. Shimon will be sharing some of his reflections on the land of Israel that night.
It's going to be interesting.
I'm sure it will be wonderful. And then coming up are 2 other big events. Erica Lee is our Kol Tzedek, our Voices of Righteousness speaker for this year. And 2 Wednesdays from now, she will be speaking about xenophobia in America. We hope to fill the sanctuary that night as well. And then a week later, David Brosa, one of the most famous singer and songwriters of Israel, will be joining us here, a benefit concert for the Reform movement and conservative movement in Israel. We hope that you buy your tickets for a wonderful evening with David Brosa. And if you forgot any of that, we have a handout on the way out. Jen Gilman and Jen White will be sharing that, but I hope that you can participate. There are QR codes for all of those events. You can sign up. We need volunteers. We need participation. We hope that you will be there with us. Thank you to the Men's Club for leading us in services and your voices. Mazel tov to our B'nai Mitzvah. We conclude on page 321, Adon Olam.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא אדון עולם בעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא אדון עולם והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה ותפארה אדון עולם ואשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם בידו אף תדרוכי ותישן והעירה אדון עולם ואם רוחי יביאתי אדוני לי ולא ירא אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ. אמן.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom.
Done. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, it is.
That was so much fun for me. Oh, you can eat that now, you know.
Wow, yeah, I can.
Oh, I know.
That was nice.
My granddaughter.